In this video we're going to see how we can bring in Venture into the Revit model that we've created. Now there are a couple of ways, as you know, to create or add Venture. The easiest way is to go to Components and I'm going to save this file. Go to Components and find a model in our library. So I can go here and try to find a model. So let me go, okay, plumbing. Go to Furniture, and I'm gonna find seating, and I'm gonna get one of those, something like that. I'm gonna get that one, and I'm gonna show you a comparison as well with this particular sofa. I'm just gonna place it somewhere here. And another way is obviously to go in and get it from an online resource like Beam Objects. So I can search for couch and find a couch and download it and use it. Though I don't have many options here, I could also go into Revit City and find a proper seating option for this particular cottage. Another thing that we can do is go to Enscape, and Enscape has an asset library. So let's see what that offers us. So I'm going to go to the asset library, and it's quite similar to what we see in SketchUp. SketchUp has the same asset library. So I can say couch, and that should bring up some interesting options. Or let's say sofa. I'm going to say sofa instead of couch. They use different options. So there's the sofa, and this is the one that we just brought in from a library. It's kind of similar to it. It's not exactly, but let's see if I can bring that into the model. So I clicked it and I can place it here. Let's see, and I'm going to place it, I'm going to tap a couple times, there we go. And as you can see, I mean, right away there is a difference. Let's just minimize this for a second. Right away in the plan view there is a difference in the way that it appears. Now, if you print this is going to look very complicated, and I don't really want it to have that effect. But before that, let's see how that looks like in a rendered view. I'm gonna put it up, be like so. These are the two seating options that we have. If I do realistic, that's gonna that's how it's gonna appear. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Enscape, and the 3D view 3 is what I'm going to render. So let's click this button to render it out, and this is the view that we have. I'm going to scroll out just a bit. As you can see, this furniture piece looks much better than the option that we have here. See, if you compare these two options, this looks much better. The Enscape asset looks much better, and I would rather prefer having the Enscape than the sofa that came with the library. So what I can do is I can do something called asset linking in order for it not to be so liney in the CAD when you print it out. So let's close this off and see how we can do that, change the way it appears. I'm going to go into my level 1 plan. I'm going to delete this. I'm going to go into my asset library, and before I bring this in, what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on these 3 dots, and I'm going to link Revit family to asset. And I need to find the sofa that we brought in, so I'm basically linking it to this sofa. So I think it's called the Cold Brew, sofa Cold Brew. So I'm gonna select that, say OK, and now what happens is, even though we can't see it, this asset, even though it's in plan form, it's showing up like this. When we render it out, it's going to show up like the one that we saw in the rendering. So let's see what that looks like. I'm gonna click on this button, and there we go. So I think the way it was rotated, I think that kind of messed things up, but otherwise it looks the way that we want it to look like in this particular view. When you print it out, it's going to look like the furniture piece that we brought in from the family, but when you render it out, it's going to look like the asset from Enscape. So asset linking can be used in order to replace the assets that we have from the asset library